Hello, my fellow fractals of infinite consciousness, and welcome to Divulging and Depravity, the show where we will take a look at a couple beautiful creations of God's green earth and make fun of them for our own amusement. Today on the chopping block, we have the greatest unintentional comedy of all time, Grizzly Man, featuring Timothy Treadwell. For those of you who are unfamiliar with this beautiful man and his story, he was a child of 5 born in Long Island, New York, who decided he was going to be a movie star, moved to LA, got, shut down and denied his dream. Got lost in drugs and alcohol and decided, you know what? I'm not going to get into a rehabilitation program. I'm not going to get sober the normal way. What I'm going to do is go out into the woods and hang out with a bunch of ravenous beasts.
That they needed a caretaker. They needed someone to look after them, but not a drunk person, not a person messed up. So I promised the bears that if I would look over them, would they please help me?
Which he claimed that he had some sort of special connection to. So he would go out for the spring and the summer, and then he would come back to society during the winter when the bears went into hibernation. And he went out there for about 13 consecutive summers. Out there in the wilds of Alaska with grizzly bears. But how do we think this worked out in the end, huh? Do you think his beautiful, peaceful, loving presence allowed him to shed his humanity and enter a state of peaceful, loving harmony for the bears where he then died out there with them of old age? Or do we think it was option 2, he got eaten by those fucking bears? I don't think I have to tell you which happened. I think it's pretty clear to anyone who puts the dot, yeah, he got eaten by the fucking bears. And, for those of you who have seen the documentary, maybe heard the story, and you're thinking, oh, Carson, leave old Timothy alone, he was trying to do good. He just wanted to protect the bears. He had best intentions, and that's true. That's true. He most certainly had best intentions. But when you have the best intentions, and then you're a complete idiot about how you act on those intentions, you do more harm than good. It's not like he was an ecologist or a scientist and he was out there studying the bears. He was just a guy who was addicted to drugs and alcohol and maybe running away from his sexuality, who decided that it would be a good idea. So all he really did was normalize these bears to humans, which would actually, make them more likely to attack a human in the future and, more likely to maybe approach a human with a gun who might feel defensive and shoot them. So it actually puts them in more danger. 2, he was doing this in a national park. Like, it was protected. The bear population in this specific area was booming. They didn't need protection. They were doing just fine. And 3, and the main reason I'm not going to feel sorry about making fun of this dick, is that he convinced his girlfriend that he had some special connection to these heartless animals, and he brought her out there, and she got eaten too. So, you get another, if you get your own crazy ass eaten by a bear, and you had best intentions and you died out there with them, maybe I wouldn't shit on you. But you get another person eaten by the bears, you deserve the shitting, because you're a crazy piece of shit who thought you had a special connection to ravenous beasts. He went out there selfishly to serve his own, internal struggle. So I will not feel sorry for him. But let's take a look at this crazy asshole together. I feel like that was a little too aggro at the end there. I don't really have any beef against Timothy. I just think he's funny. It's a crazy asshole out in the woods with bears. Let's take a look at it together.
I'm out in the prime cut of the Big Green. Behind me is Ed and Rowdy, members of an up-and-coming sub-adult gang. They're challenging everything, including me. Goes with the territory. If I show weakness, if I retreat, I may be hurt, I may be killed. I must hold my own if I'm going to stay within this land. For once there is weakness, they will exploit it, they will take me out, they will decapitate me, they will chop me into bits and pieces. I'm dead.
Yeah, you're telling me. You're the one out there in the woods 30 feet from it. It'll tear you limb from limb. Yeah, I know that. That's why I'm not out in the woods hanging out with grizzlies. Because I know that, he knew. If you were self-aware that, why were you hanging out with the bears in the first place?
No one knew that. No one ever friggin' knew that there are times when my life is on the precipice of death, and that these bears can bite, they can kill.
Everybody knew that. Everybody knew that. Everyone was amazed every year when you came back. They were like, holy shit, he made it another year. No one doubted that it was dangerous. In fact, people judged you poorly because of how unnecessarily dangerous it was. Look at that thing, man. That thing is fucking jacked. That's not a black bear. Even black bears will tear you limb from limb, like that. But that thing, that's not, that thing is That's a fucking tiger that's 4 times bigger than a tiger. And a cat, I don't know if people, a cat goes for your neck, it tries to kill you. Bears eat you alive. Fuck, like why would you even want to be around those things? Like I don't even like looking at pictures of them. I guess it's one of those things though, like you must fucking feel alive. Like it's just gotta be primordial to be walking around with those things everywhere. I get why he did it, you know? What's his name? Alexander Supertramp, he's a pussy. You know, just going out and fucking hanging out in a trailer, man. This guy was hanging out with bears, man.
They can kill, they can bite, they can decapitate.
Yeah, they can do all those things, and they will.
But I knew just by seeing Timmy's face on TV and hearing my wife's reaction that the worst had happened. Not necessarily a surprise, but the worst. I never have days when I grieve for Timmy, as I have with other friends who have died. They feel dead. Timmy doesn't feel dead.
I don't think it's that Timmy doesn't feel dead. I think that you just coped with it really good because you knew it was going to happen. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when you have a relative with cancer. Oh, that's a little too soon. I don't want to do the cancer. If you have you have a friend who's addicted to heroin and they're doing heroin all the time and you're not really in contact with them, you know, and then they die of heroin. You're not like, oh no, what a surprise, like if someone dies in a car accident. You know, it's kind of like, you know, if you got a family member in the military, it's kind of like every time you hug them like it's the last time you're gonna see him. You know, that's probably why. That's my theory for why he dealt with it so well and why he doesn't feel dead and he didn't mourn for him like he did for his other friends. It's like you knew it was gonna happen. You know, it's like when you have one of those kids with the backwards age disease. You know, you know you're not going to their wedding. Right? You go play catch and you make their 20 years the best 20 years there ever was. But at 20 years, you're not like, oh no, my child died so young. That's a terrible analogy. You know what I mean?
This is the last photo of Timothy Treadwell. It was taken at the beginning of his 13th summer in the wilds of Alaska.
I just want to reiterate it, man. No experience, no science, no degrees. He didn't ever study bears. 13 summers. Maybe 13 is on the 13 summers. He lasted. They didn't need him. You know? This is why he's a dick, though. He killed that chick, you know? What a dirty hippie, you know? You really thought Blondie here had a special connection with the bears? What kind of fucking fruity loopy Disney world are you living in?
But I will tell you something. It is the old bear, one who is struggling for survival, and an aggressive one at that, who is the one that you must be very careful of. For these are the bears that on occasion do, for survival, kill and eat humans.
Then why are you 10 feet from it? Like this, he's sitting there like, you see this bear right here, right next to me? This is the kind of bear that can eat you. Hey, little guy. What the hell is wrong with them?
I'm Sam Egley. I was called out as a helicopter pilot to assist on the cleanup after the Treadwell tragedy of last winter. Those bears are big and ferocious and they come equipped to kill you and eat you. And that's just what Treadwell was asking for. He got what he was asking for. He got what he deserved, in my opinion. The tragedy of it was taking the girl with him. I think the only reason that Treadwell lasted as long in the game as he did was that the bears probably thought there was something wrong with him, like he was mentally retarded or something.
That is such a redneck thing. Like the bears must have thought something was wrong in his head. But he's closer to the truth than like the people who thought he had a special connection to him. I don't know if I'll cut it in, but the narrator had a good take about he was escaping himself in the bears, and it was kind of more about, it wasn't about his love for the bears as much as it was his hate and disdain for society and his want to get away from it. So I agree with that take, but I do like that he was just basically
mentally retarded or something.
Perhaps it was religious, but not in the true sense of religion. I think perhaps he wanted to mutate into a wild animal, as he says in this last letter. He says, I have to mutually mutate into a wild animal to handle the life I live out here.
How'd you make that brilliant deduction? Like ecologist scientist sitting there with my book, you know? What I think is that he wanted to mutate into a wild animal. How'd you know that? Well, he wrote and he told me that he wanted to mutate into a wild animal. Like, what the hell? Stop fucking acting so smart. Furries are pussies, alright? I don't know if that's what being a furry is about, if it's about mutating yourself into some sort of wild animal, but that's what it looks like. It looks like what you're trying to do. You hanging out in hotels and drinking out of water bowl, out of food things, that is not mutating into a wild animal. You go out in the woods and you hang out with bears like a man, like Timothy Treadwell did. This guy puts all those animal wannabes to shame. Foxkin furries, the ones who wear the latex. You guys are fucking slacking. Go out in the woods, be real furries. See you fucking grow a pair.
But he felt not worthy enough to get his message across at times, and so maybe in the drama of death, his message would be more poignant and reach out to more people.
What is up with these animal nutjobs thinking they're Jesus? Like, both Timothy is dying to pass his message on about the bears, and Carol Baskin is dying to pass her message on about the cats. What is up with these messiah fucking animal people? Like, really? You're gonna die to save these creatures?
I always cannot understand why girls don't want to be with me for a long time, because I have really a nice personality. I'm fun. I'm very, very good in the, you're not supposed to say that when you're a guy, but I know I am. They know I am. And, I don't fight with them. I'm so passive. Bit of a patsy. Which, is that a turn-off to girls, to be a patsy? I mean, it's not that I'm a total great guy. I'm a lot of fun and have a good life going. I don't know what's going on. I always wished I was gay. It would have been a lot easier. You know, you can just bing, bing, bing. Gay guys have no problem. I mean, they go to restrooms and truck stops and they perform sex. It's like so easy for them. And
if you have a problem getting girls and you're like, no girls want to be with me, you know, do you think maybe, you know, because there are red flags when you're meeting someone where you're like, oh, maybe this person isn't for me. Is the bear thing one of them? Like, do you find that you're going out with girls, things are going well, you get to like that 3rd day period and she's like, what are you into? And it's like, well, actually, I disappear into the wilderness for 6 months out of the year and I hang out with giant ravenous beasts. You know, do you want to maybe come with me next time? Because that might be the reason a lot of chicks are like, I don't want to fucking date this crazy guy. Maybe if you spend a little more time working on yourself, you know, going to therapy, figuring out your place in the world instead of going out and hanging out with, you know, monsters, maybe you'd have better luck with the ladies if you're not a secret homosexual.
I always wished I was gay.
Drank a lot. Did you know that? Irish, you wouldn't even know what that is. But I used to drink to the point of that I guess I was either going to die from it or break free of it. But nothing, Iris, could get me to stop drinking. Nothing. I went to programs. I tried quitting myself. I did everything that I could to try not to drink, and then I did everything I could to drink. And it was killing me until I discovered this land of bears.
I kind of like the idea of Timothy given his substance. I like the idea of him just ending up in Alaska one day, accidentally, not of his own intention, on just some wild bender, you know, just like fucking off the rails, drinking, doing coke, hanging out, partying. He's in LA. Next thing you know, he's on a boat. He's flying to Alaska. He just keeps pounding it. He's been up for 3 days, and he's just like boom, blah, 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 going at it. And somehow he winds up in the middle of the wilderness, and he just comes to, and he's like, oh, fucking, what's going on? That fucking bear. I like to think that he showed up on a wild bender. I don't know why, but that's my theory.
Things are bad for me with the human women, but not so bad that I have to be hitting on bears yet.
But it is so bad that you have to spend 6 months of the year out there with them. Not so bad I have to start fucking the bears, but I'm so lonely that I'm capable of camping 6 months by myself. Like, I think you've already crossed the line, man. I think it's as sad as it can get. If you start having sex with the bears, I think it's just gonna make it honestly more impressive, and I think you'll probably get more in tune with him.
It's warm. It just came from her butt. This was just inside of her. My girl. I'm touching it. It's her boob. It's Wendy's boob.
Can't you get like diseases from that? He's like, ugh. Ugh. Like, ugh, man. That's a carnivore. They got like worms and living, because they eat raw meat. Like, they got all sorts of shit. If they eat raw fish, yeah, they got, ugh. And he's just, like, he doesn't, what, he's got hand sanitizers out there in the woods, touching bear shit. I don't even care that he killed the woman. He deserved to get eaten because he's running his hands through bear scat. What a disgusting human being. Ugh.
Here I differ with Treadwell. He seemed to ignore the fact that in nature there are predators. I believe the common denominator of the universe is not harmony, but chaos, hostility, and murder.
Okay, what's with the pessimism, Mr. Narrator? I was with you on chaos. There's definitely a lot more chaos in the universe than harmony, but to make the jump to, what was it? Something in murder.
Hostility and murder.
Nah, because it's not all hostility and murder, man. There's plenty of love, too. There's harmony to the universe. Am I gonna quote Vision?
Humans are odd. They think order and chaos are somehow opposites.
I don't think chaos is in itself hostility and murder. I don't think that's just the way of the universe. What kind of crazy, eyes wide shut sex orgies are you going to, narrator? The world's hostility and murder? Jesus Christ. I feel like this British, well-off narrator Hollywood guy is eating a couple babies' pineal glands. Just saying. The world's not all hostility. It's chaos for sure. It's definitely chaos. And Timothy's whole, like, it's all just peace and love, man. Let's go hug a bear. That's nonsense, too. But there's harmony to the universe, I think. What the fuck do I know? But still.
So if there's a God, don't he needs to eat? Dump on us. Hurt us! Come on! Think right. It's a crappy little shower right now. What kind of crappy come on!
I take it back. This guy's not crazy. He wasn't running away from his problems. This guy is right in the head. He was out there protecting the bears. This guy knows what's going on. I take it back. Clear. He's one. He called upon God, and God gave him rain. All right. They could write a Bible story about this guy. I'm in. I take it back, Timothy. You are a sharp cookie.
I want, if there's a God, to kick some ass down here. Let's have some water, Jesus boy. Let's have some water.
Is that how you properly pray? Is it not like, oh, please, Lord, please give me. I'm so grateful for all you have given me, but if I could just get one more little thing, that's how I pray. Are you supposed to be like, hey, fucking Jesus boy, bring on the rain? I'm gonna start praying like that. I'm gonna start saying, hey, Jesus boy, give it to me.
Or Allah, or a Hindu floaty thing. Let's have some fucking water for these animals! It's been an absolute miracle. It has rained 1.65 inches of rain today.
Oh, that's what it, or Hindu, that's what it is. You have to pray to all the gods, cover all your bases. Jesus boy, Allah, Hindu, you gotta call them all out. We're at the end here and I have the scream, and I was gonna cut the scream in between all of his, like, I love the animals. These bears are peaceful and they're loving, and then cut to like, Aah! But now that I've listened to the video, I do realize it's kind of like a snuff audio film, and that's like genuinely a human being suffering. So that was my joke about, not so hippy dippy anymore when you're being torn limb from limb by the savage animal, are you? Yeah. But, God bless him. God bless him. Okay, this has been another episode of Divulging in Depravity. Check out my previous episodes on the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia and the Tiger King. I also did a couple questionnaire things, and I have some reaction videos up. So take a look at all those. I'll leave the things in the thing. Hit the like button, smash the subscribe, all the bullshit. And I will catch you in the next one.